another guy that has come into Colorado after being a rival for so long is our manager, Bud Black. Of course, he falls just a little bit short. And what was a surprising outcome with the NL Manager of the Year? Luke talk us through another third-place finish for Bud, but there's a surprise at the top.
I was absolutely certain it was going to be Craig Counsell with the Brewers with the job he did to turn around the team.
Too.
I think so. Obviously I'm pulling for Bud Black. Obviously I want him to get it. But you look at the season the Brewers had, with the turnaround they had, beating out the Cubs for that division, they had a great season. And Brian Snitker with the Braves, he's a good manager. They also had a surprising season, maybe even more so. But
they were projected to be the 28th best team in baseball, and then they took a game from the Dodgers in the playoffs. So I don't want to diminish what he did, but I completely agree.
Yeah, and the record was about the same as the Tampa Bay Rays. So
yeah, and I also agree, though, that if Colorado goes into the playoffs and they win that series, then Bud Black's probably your front runner for Manager of the Year, especially when you had your ace in John Gray go down in flames like he did. But Bud Black, 2 finishes in the top 3 now in the first 2 years. What are your thoughts on Bud?
I think he's been exactly what this team has needed. I mean, everyone's gonna argue about the in-game decisions. Should he have pulled this guy? Should he have started someone else? Ian Desmond's always going to be an ongoing controversy. The bullpen, I mean, he didn't have a lot of choices to go to in the bullpen, but every time they give up a run, you're like, what you doing bringing that guy in? But he's been exactly what the team needed with the pitching staff. We look at the way the team's pitching staff has turned around. Bryce has done a great job of bringing these young arms into the team. And then Bud Black is almost like another pitching coach there to show them. He's been there. He knows what it's like. And he's gone a long way to helping these guys like Freeland and Marquez and Anderson.
Well, I think that's exactly right. I do not believe it's a coincidence that in Bud Black's second year, you've got a Colorado native in Kyle Freeland start to pitch the way that he did this year. Ben, when we talk about Bud Black, how much of a role do you think he plays in Kyle Freeland and being able to take him to that next level of being a Cy Young contender?
I think not just in Kyle Freeland, but in all the pitchers on this team, he is a pitcher's coach, bar none. Just kind of that, because he's sometimes a quiet leader too. Sometimes there's not a lot said between Bud Black and the pitchers that are pitching, but it's just it's like this unspoken thing, this confidence that he has. And being able to be confident in your pitcher at Coors Field, that comes with a lot of trust and knowing that Kyle Freeland and any other pitcher who's pitching there is going to do well. And when Bud Black goes to the mound and says, because I think there's not a stat for this, but I'm pretty sure if there was a ratio for number of times that there were mound visits by a manager versus a pitcher being pulled out, Bud Black goes to the mound a lot and doesn't pull out a starting pitcher. And he wants to know what they think. He wants to know what their input is, and he's trusting them to know that they're going to tell me honestly.
Well, and one of the sayings that we like to hear and that we've heard out of Philadelphia when we talk about the NBA, trust the process, right? We've seen this with Bud Black in the recent years. They've come close in a couple of areas, They're inching ever closer. Chris, really, now more than ever, if you're a Colorado Rockies fan, trust the process.
No, exactly. And obviously it was disappointing going out in the playoffs like they did, scoring 1 run, really having 1 inning where they played solid baseball. But yeah, you can't abandon ship right now. If they're going to make a step, this is going to be the year they're going to make the step. So they just have to trust the process.
Gotta steal that from the Sixers, but nonetheless, we will do that.